This is the Yuba Spicy Curry. The Yuba Spicy Curry is one of Yuba's latest in a long line of long-tail cargo bikes, and this one has always been electric. That was their play on the word with the spicy. This one's got the power. Yuba's a brand that goes back a long time with cargo bikes. Founded in the US, they were making cargo bikes for predominantly the Western Anglo market. And by that we mean the markets where you don't traditionally have a whole lot of bike use. This wasn't a brand that got big in the Netherlands or Denmark or Germany. It was the kind of brand that was serving Americans, Australians, British, that kind of thing. That's important because when you go through what the Yuba offers, you can see it's got all these ways to make biking work for families where it's not always made so easy for them in terms of infrastructure, little kids being able to ride by themselves all the time, schools being nearby, and that kind of thing. In countries where there's lots of good cycling, the cargo bikes are more about when the kids are really little or for delivering goods. In places like New Zealand, Australia, and the US, it's about making it work even when the kids might be a bit older and you have to contend with a lot of things. One thing Yuba has always done very well is the accessories, focusing on what makes a great bike useful for actual people with accessories that everybody loves. Yuba is probably one of the most loved cargo bike brands from all the owners out there. It may have been the first one they'd seen and the one that changed their lives. It's also a brand that's always been very in touch with what real people need on their bikes. So the Spicy Curry is quite a long tail. When someone wants to hold 3 kids on the back of their bike, it's generally the one we say, this one can do it. The other ones might just fit them in under certain circumstances, but this one you can be confident is made for it. The setup we're looking at right here is showing one child in a capsule age, maybe 2 to 5 year olds, and this one, the Yep Junior with a little belt, so you're sort of 5 to 10 year olds, and the running board optional accessories there. Generally speaking, people carrying kids around on the Spicy Curry will usually opt to get the front basket. It's the Yuba bread basket made to fit right into the frame there with the liner. Some people get a bit of a net or some straps over there, and you can hold a lot in there. You can put in your bag plus the 2 school bags for the kids, that kind of thing, or load it up shopping when that's what you're doing. The Yuba Spicy Curry is not compatible with front seats that I know of. There's probably ways to make it adapt, but this sort of thing, it's not going to fit here. The head tube is too large. It's a different kind of shape to some other bikes. That's not a criticism of the bike, it's just an observation so people understand how it works. When you have these big front racks, the child seats sort of don't work with it too well anyway, because the handlebar moves where the rack stays still because the rack is mounted to the frame. The child seat would come in and collide with it. So they've gone for put the kids on the back, put the stuff on the front. That does mean you might have to wait a little bit longer to use a Yuba Spicy Curry compared to some others, because you have to be happy that your child is comfortable in a bigger seat. So again, in that Anglo sort of context, people are often waiting anyway, so it's not quite a big problem for Yuba. Just popping these seats off. So you've got 2 Yep Easy Fit windows on the Yuba. That means these capsules could be in either place. You could have 2 baby capsules, you could have 2 bigger kid capsules. You've got control over what you do there. The Yuba to-go bags, it's a very big bag, can also be used as a sling to hold longer things, and it can fit underneath the seats here. If you're using the capsule type seat, you do lose some of the capacity. These bags have been so popular, you often see them being sold onto other cargo bikes. So again, a strong point of the Yuba has been the accessories. There's other type of things like the soft spot seat. Just a nice comfortable seat that straps on. When people have these, they usually want something the children can hang on to. There you'll see things like the Yuba hold-on bars, some bars that come behind here. You usually want the kids to be able to hold on to something here. The Yuba ring is one way they can do that. That bolts down, and they've got something to hold on to. When using things like the Yuba ring or the monkey bars, you generally have to bolt down a top deck on as well for these things to go onto. Monkey bars are an accessory that allows the kids to stay in a bit of a cage and hang on to the bars on the outside. They too take up a bit of bulk, and it makes it harder to get the kids in and out, so some people prefer to stick with things like the ring or the Yep Junior with the little lap belt. and avoid those monkey bars. The Yuba Spicy Curry does not have a wheel lock like your sort of AXA or Arbus cafe lock like you see on some other cargo bike models. They have, however, got their own pin lock. The pin lock is designed to be stored down here when not in use, and when you lock your bike, you pull it out and shove it through here from there to lock up the front wheel. The bigger a bike is, the more effective these sort of stationary, static kind of locks are. We'd highly recommend this for anybody who's using a Yuba to use in conjunction with another lock as well. The Yuba Spicy Curry is using the Bosch Performance Line CX motor. That's the most generous amount of assistance you can get from the Bosch mid-drives, which has made it quite popular. Putting a couple kids on, going up hills, especially in Auckland, the more support the better in most cases, particularly when you start whacking on the number of people. The Spicy Curry has gone with a 20-inch rear wheel and a 26-inch front wheel. This allowed there to use more space here for carrying stuff and put the center of gravity of what you're carrying lower. When you're sitting here and you've got the kids back there, or crates of beer or whatever it is you like carrying, the lower it is, the easier it feels on you, both when maneuvering, riding, and particularly when getting off. You can imagine where the kids are leaning, that it makes it easier. So that's why they've gone with that lower wheel. It does mean if your intention is to put adults on the back, or as kids get really tall, their legs are pretty bunched up. So that's the Yuba Spicy Curry. It has optimized how much you can carry. It's not trying to be short, it's not trying to have normal bike geometry, it's trying to be a cargo bike for real people who want to carry as much stuff as they can, kids, stuff, towing the kids' bikes, carrying plenty still in the front, that kind of thing, aiming to be the station wagon. So who wants these? People who want to carry as much as possible, people who like a long established and trusted cargo bike brand, and those who really love the Yuba accessories. Who might not want it, if you had ideas that your bike was going to be quite small and still carry a lot, then this one's optimized on the other end of the scale, just to be big and carry more.